Here's a polished, publication-ready version of your piece with structure, clarity, and flow strengthened while preserving your voice and analysis. Since I first saw Mārama, its memories have lingered opinion. Despite understanding the historical terrain the film would traverse, I was unprepared for how deeply disturbed I would feel. Mārama, the debut feature from director Teratoa Stappard, opens in cinemas across Aotearoa today. It is a bold and chilling Maori Gothic horror that interrogates and exacts revenge upon the Maoriland era of our history, when Maori culture and our people were collected, cataloged, and traded as romantic curios from a distant island nation. Set in Victorian England, Mary Stevens, Ariana Osborne, arrives in North Yorkshire at Hawksor Manor, an oppressive country estate owned by Sir Nathaniel Cole, Toby Stevens, and his granddaughter Anne, Evelyn Towersey. From the moment Mary crosses its threshold, she is assaulted by visions of violence. So when Sir Nathaniel greets her in Te Reo Māori, the gesture lands not as connection, but as possession. In that moment, Mārama reveals its core interrogation: proximity as strategy, language as leverage, admiration as camouflage for violence. These are men who have learned Te Reo not out of solidarity, but as access, particularly to Wahine Māori. The threat is not explosive. It is methodical. I first saw Mārama at its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival in September 2025. Despite knowing the historical terrain it would traverse, I was unprepared for how deeply disturbed I would feel, especially in that foreign setting. At times, the responses of the audience seemed to echo a colonial gaze, one that felt as though it was reaching through the screen. Though historic in setting, the film's aesthetic is sophisticated and unmistakably modern. It collapses past and present so that the horror feels immediate. Hawksor Manor is a colonial hellscape, grand shadowed architecture framing Taonga and Toi Māori as trophies. In the garden stands a war wakairo positioned like a jewel, unmistakably reminiscent of Hinimihi o Te Ao Tauhito, the meeting house removed from Te Wairoa and relocated to England in the 19th century. There is hope that Hinimihi may soon be returned to Aotearoa after more than a century in Surrey. But it is only one example among many. Taonga iwi continue to fight to repatriate. A more gruesome relic of this era is the 19th century trade in toy moko. These objects are made all the more grotesque by Cole and his peers' obsession not only with Maori artifacts, but with Maori people themselves. In confronting Cole and his companion Jack Fenton, Osborne anchors the film with fierce intensity. Surrounded by threats to her wakapa, past and future, Mary sharpens her awareness. What begins as survival becomes reclamation. In the film's climactic turn, she transforms a story of violence against Wahine Māori into one of restoration and bloody justice. Stappard has described the film as forging a new genre, Maori Gothic horror. That confidence emerges from his own wakapapa and from stories of Wahine Toa, including his great-grandmother Rangiriri Stru, who defiantly wore moko kawai at a time when Maori identity was shamed. Her international tours performing for colonial audiences form a haunting echo within the film's Victorian English setting. There is a deeper inversion at work. The colonial Maoriland era once packaged Maori culture as tradable spectacle. In both this film and the contemporary Maoriland Film Festival, itself a reclamation of that term, that gaze is turned back. Where Maori identity was curated as curiosity, Mārama centers a young Maori woman as hero and architect of justice, defining our place in the global cinematic landscape on our own terms. The film's journey is itself part of the story. In 2019, Stappard won a pitch prize used to develop Taumanu, a short set within the world of Mārama. Now, Mārama stands as a feature-length expansion of that vision, and as a serious marker in the evolution of Maori cinema. In the days and weeks since I first saw it, its images have lingered. They return unbidden, triggering new trains of thought. It is a film you want to talk about. It disturbs not to shock, but to reckon. And in doing so, it expands Maori cinema, not as spectacle, but as authority. If you'd like, I can also trim this to a tighter 800-word version, adapt it for web publication with subheads, or reshape it into a festival program introduction piece.